Here's everything I eat when doing hibachi for lunch.
So we celebrated my mom's birthday at our favorite Japanese steakhouse, Makoto's, for lunch. I had the hot tea and then the salad with the ginger dressing. That was so good. I ate every last bite of it. And for lunch, I was having chicken, steak, and shrimp with double vegetables. And I had the carrots that are so good. They're soaked in honey. I could eat those things anytime, any place. And then I had some liver pate, and some other people at the table didn't want theirs. So I ended up with some extra liver pate. Then it was time for him to cook the meats again. I had the steak, which was really good, and teriyaki sauce. I also had some shrimp, and I had some chicken. Really good, full of protein, a great way to start the day, and all the vegetables. It just was a great lunch. And then I had some mushrooms, and I also got the bean sprouts. I ate all the vegetables, all the meat, and I actually didn't eat any of the rice. I had that saved, and I was able to take that home, and that ended up being my dinner for the night. So a full day of eating just at hibachi.
Here's everything I eat in a day when on vacation.
So we were going to the 𝐋𝐄𝐓'𝐒 Chocolate Emporium for dinner, but they want an hour wait. So we walked over to the Hard Rock Cafe to get a glass of wine while we waited on our table. I broke my 18-hour fast with a glass of cab, and then we got over to 𝐋𝐄𝐓'𝐒, and it was a really cool steampunk theme. They had this robot that come around to the table. And then for an appetizer, I got the Brussels sprouts with goat cheese and balsamic vinegar. Best Brussels sprouts I ever had. And then I had these chocolate and coffee coated chicken wings. They were really good, super interesting. I can't believe they put chocolate on the wings, but it was really good. And then for dinner, I had the chicken breast with mashed potatoes and asparagus. And then for dessert, I had a key lime pie milkshake that had a piece of key lime pie on the top. That was the best key lime pie that I had ever had in my entire life, and that was just the start of the milkshake. I finished that whole thing, and that was everything I ate on the first day of vacation.
This is everything I eat in a day at Universal Studios.
So I broke my 18-hour fast. We went to Diagon Alley and had some butterbeer ice cream. This stuff was really good, and best of all, it was only a 10-minute line versus the 45 minutes for butterbeer itself. I split that with my wife and the girls, and then we went to have lunch at the Monsters Cafe, and there I got some brisket, a half a rotisserie chicken, as well as some cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. That stuff was really good, a super delicious lunch. After that, got a theme park staple for me, some churros that were really good. And then we left the park a little early, and we ended up going to Longhorn Steakhouse for dinner. At dinner, I had a whiskey sour to start, a Caesar salad, and then for my main course, I had a New York strip and some broccoli, and that's everything I ate on day 2 of vacation.
Here's everything I eat in a day at Universal Studios.
On day 3 of our vacation, we started the morning at Lard's Lads Donuts. We split 4 of those, split them with the family. My favorite was the maple bacon. And then we went on the Men in Black ride and needed a little protein pick-me-up, so I grabbed a cricket lollipop. So then we went over to Jurassic Park and ate at their dining facility, which was really good, cafeteria style. And I got my favorite thing, which is a turkey leg. I always feel like a caveman when I eat it, but it's my favorite theme park food. And then, I had to find the key lime cheesecake. That was absolutely delicious. And then finish the day off with another staple, which is caramel popcorn. That stuff is so good, I could eat it all day. And that's everything I ate at the park on day 3 of our vacation.
Here's everything I eat in a day when intermittent fasting.
So after dropping the girls off at school, I got a little workout in. Then I went to Ted's Montana Grill at 11 to break my fast. I had some of their house-made dill pickle chips, and I had their hot green burger. It was a bison burger with guacamole and jalapenos and pepper jack cheese, and I got the kale salad as a side. Then it was time to go to work at 1, and then I like at 4 to have my break eating at the deli. I had a Cuban sub with mayo, mustard. It had ham, pulled pork, Swiss cheese. I got that all toasted. This is a new sub that we came out with, but it is my absolute favorite. It is absolutely delicious. And before I left, I grabbed a protein shake, and I had that in my car before I drove home. I only lived like 5 minutes away. Let the dog out, had about a half a bag of pork rinds, and then I had the sub. This thing was great, a great way to end the day, and that's everything that I eat when intermittent fasting.
Here's everything I eat in a day when intermittent fasting.
So I went to the grocery store to pick up some stuff for dinner, and I grabbed a bag of pork rinds to break my 18-hour fast with in the car before I came home. And Caroline picked out these little bananas. I had one of those. Carrie made a few shrimp for us as an appetizer, and then we made the girls' school lunches, and I had a handful of the strawberries that we were packing for them, as well as the leftover bits of their star sandwiches. That was my dad tax there. And then for dinner, we were having bourbon salmon and asparagus. Now that bourbon salmon is my favorite thing to get from the seafood counter, and on this day I was doing higher calories, so I had a second meal after the salmon. I did these French fried onion burgers, and to that I was adding smoked Gouda, and that just ended up being really good, and I ate that just kind of like a steak, no bun, and I had 1.5 of those. Carrie had the other half, and then to finish the day off, Carrie and I split a mini key lime pie and a cheesecake slice, so I had half each one of those, and that's everything I ate.
Here's everything I eat in a day after a 22-hour fast.
So I broke my fast with an avocado. I added some salt and some tahini seasoning to that. And then I was cooking dinner for the family, and we were doing breakfast for dinner. Did bacon and scrambled eggs. I ended up having about 5 scrambled eggs. And to that, I added some cheddar cheese. It's this Cabot white oak aged cheddar cheese. It was really good. I shredded it, and again I add that towards the end of the eggs. Bacon and eggs are a staple around our house. The girls absolutely love it. And then I had a second meal. I had some ground bison, and I added some blue cheese crumbles, some French fried onions, and some Lowry seasoned salt. I mixed all that together, and then I formed them into patties, and I was going to be eating these like steaks, no buns or nothing like that, but I cooked those in the cast iron skillet, got a great crust on them. They turned out absolutely great. It's the first time I've had them, but I'm definitely going to be doing this again. That was really good. And then I ended the night with a red velvet cupcake Chobani flip, and that's everything I ate.